We have some awesome stuff lined up for you with some people coming on here, and it might not only just be on a Monday that we start recording the Real Life On Demand sessions interviews, but tonight we have the co-founder of Real Life Creative Construction. He is a beast in property. He's weighing in about 208 pounds. Steve Morley. That was pretty cool, wasn't it?
Yeah, you're almost close as well. I think you're about £3 out as well.
I just thought, maybe a Dolph Lundgren. Oh, yeah. What's the guy's name? I can't remember the guy's name in the Rocky film. But anyway, good to see you on here. Thank you for coming on. Let's make sure anybody watching this, and do comment and let me know where you are, because we're going to be talking about property investing. We're going to be talking about property deals and property development. We're also going to be talking about raising money. Now, if you've got any questions about Steve, Steve started investing in property in 2019, started his journey. It was a whirlwind of a journey. The guy wanted to quit, like, most people probably, at one stage he thought it was all garbage and he just wanted to go back to his job, but he didn't do that. And now he's looking at a solid portfolio and great growth in many areas of his life. Sometimes he might like it, sometimes he might not like it. So you've got to be able to ask some questions on here, however technical that you want to get, and however personal you want to get. I'm sure you'll love to answer that stuff as well. But first of all, let me know where it is you're watching this from. Do post that in the comments there. Do like to see that, because what we're going to be doing also is going to be giving away some merchandise. Hey, Steve, show me your merchandise. What you got?
Hoodie.
Look at that big chest. Yeah, so you can have a Real Life Creative Construction one, or you can just have one with real life on it. Now, let me tell you something. This clothing brand is going through the roof. We're not doing it for profit or anything. We're literally just doing it to spread the word and spread the love. So if you want to be in a chance to winning some merchandise, then all you need to do is share this post right here. And then I need you to comment, by tagging at least 10 people. If you're in the Real Life tribe, tag 10 people in the tribe, 10 people out of the tribe, and we get this party started. Yeah. So, Steve, just give us a brief intro to your landing into the game of property investing.
So like you said, back in June 2019, decided to do the one-day event in Birmingham, and then from that, I sort of knew I was going to sign up anyway on for something. I didn't know what, just because it took us a year to build up the courage to go and actually do something about property, really. So it was more to learn a bit, and all them years ago, actually just wanted like 3 houses, one for each of my daughters and one for me and Sean, and that was sort of going to be it. And how did I know it was going to change my life from there?
Yeah. So, funny enough, Steve, most people, they set out with goals like, let me get a buy-to-let, a couple of buy-to-lets, and then they end up changing their whole world because they realize property is a great vehicle for them to go on and, add value to people and all that rest of it. So what is it that you have now found, or like, what's the value you're either getting or providing since you've been in this game for a couple of years now?
I think for me, it was, like I say, started with the 3 houses. And but from doing the training, doing the coaching, I've actually done something that actually, excited me. So each project that I do, there's an element of how that sort of comes across, makes me feel, how it makes me interact with people and stuff like that. And it's really given me the love to actually go on and do the projects that we're doing.
Very good. And like, let's just get straight to it. Like, at the beginning in 2019, you said you procrastinated for a year already. So that must have been like 2018 into 2019. Yeah. Why?
Why? I think when Sean first showed me what you was doing for you know, for real life and stuff like that, I was just like, look, don't believe it. You know, you see everything, or you know, on TV or on Facebook or social media that says it's a scam, it's this, it's that, it's the other, and then literally over time, I started watching the videos. I started seeing actually what you know, yourself was doing, and from that point, it was like, actually, this is actually quite genuine. So that's where we made the decision then to go, you know what, we need to look into this a bit more. Started doing a bit more research into real life, what it can do, and stuff like that. And then next minute, it was a few weeks before we came to the event. It was a Saturday morning. Was in the garden having a cup of tea, and I was just like, no, let's just go for it, sort of thing. Like I say, on the day of the 1 day event, I already knew that we was going to sign up for something or some sort of package that was on offer. But
How did you?
sorry.
How did you know that?
Because me and Sean spoke about it, and we were like, you know, we sat there and was just like, you know what, we want, you know, to do property right, we need obviously to do some sort of training, and not just on a whim and a prayer. So we spoke about it, and we just sort of went, look, we're going to do it. What it is, I don't know. What's going to happen, I don't know. But you know, we had the first initial goals that outlaid to us way back in 2019.
So you say Sean was watching it on the online, and she brought your attention to it, and you was like, nah, it's not real. I don't think it's happening. Was that because you was watching a video of maybe someone, you know, generated £22 million in a couple of years or so? Is that what made it?
Yeah, I think at the time it was, you was obviously saying about your portfolio at the time, and I just literally just said to Sean, I'm calling bullshit on that, and all that sort of good stuff. And it's only till you sort of take a step back, let go a little bit to actually realize exactly what you're after, that you sort of delve deep into the crux of everything to know that actually you can, you know, progress and do well in property with the right people around you.
Yeah. And so from going from, because I'm sure you didn't see someone make 22 million at that point. We're only a year into it, although many people have surpassed that, or at least getting to that. Many people halfway to that now. But like, what was it that like made you think, well, okay, it's BS. Well, let's at least go and have a look.
I think, well, actually, I know exactly what it is. I think it was, you did a live at where you live now. It was your birthday. And I thought, I've obviously lost contact with yourself from many years ago of playing football with you. And two, I saw that and saw the people sort of, Sean sort of did a bit of Facebook stalking, and you could see all the success that they were having. And it was a bit like, right, there you go. We need to sort of look into it a bit more
That's it, guys. So listen, if there's any skepticism, stalk people. Yeah, stalk people. What do you reckon?
No, probably the wrong word.
Wow, listen, I don't know if it's stalking or researching. You can call it whatever you want to call it. But okay, so you know what's funny is, because I was thinking in my mind, you know, like people, you know, who've seen, or in the first place, when I was building business, and I was building business before I even got into property, and then when I moved into this house in May 2019, yeah, all of a sudden, like, people's opinion changed. Like, why would it take for them to see where I live for their opinion to change whether something is real or not? Yeah, and I'm not kind of isolating it to you, Steve. I'm just bringing you know, the truth, man. I like to speak the truth. I'm just bringing it to the table. Like, what was the difference between me and what I was doing the day before I moved in this house, when people says this guy, you know, is off his rocker? well, probably people still say that now, versus, you know, they see me and people, and we're doing events and there's lots of people showing up. Like, what was the difference? Like, why do people
I,
need to see?
I suppose for me, it's you know, it was the whole physicality of it. You know what I mean? Seeing is believing, right? So stuff like that. As soon as I actually started paying attention, started researching and stuff like that, and then next minute you start seeing, I guess, materialistic things. All of a sudden in my head, I was like, you know what, I want a piece of that. But obviously with coaching and you know, mentoring and what's been bought over the last few years, actually it was, you know, my pattern of thinking of, yeah, I want 3 houses, this sort of passive income, to actually wanting to enjoy myself and do stuff that excites me. So yeah, so I just believe it's that physical thing of, you know, seeing is believing, and actually it does work.
Mm. Yeah, that's a shame.
That's my opinion on it anyway, and that's what it sort of was for me.
Yeah, I think I say it all the time, and you get a lot of people out there like, oh, why people, you know, in Ferraris or rent a Lamborghini or something like that. I love Grant Cardone. He said you can fake a Lamborghini, but you can't fake a jet. Yeah, and at the end of the day, like when people are saying that stuff, that's what it takes. Yeah, but like I know a lot of people who, you know, on the surface might not look like what they're doing or they're building, but like that's the real strength and that's the real foundation. Because if you don't build the strong foundations, yeah, and you get into success, because I made money before, you know, in my early 20s and blew it. I, in fact, made money before I was 20, and I was just automatic, like money in, money out. It's just like, you know, stupid. Yeah, but like going for all of those things and then learning and building some strong roots, just like the story of the Chinese bamboo. If you haven't heard that story, rather than just tell it now, just go Google it. There's plenty of versions of it out there. But build some strong foundations means that when that growth does happen, then it's got some stability to ride some waves, which many people, especially in the real life community, was able to do when it came to 2020 and lockdown and restrictions and pandemic and all of that. We're able to, let's say, weather that storm, or most people actually went flying. Yeah, and absolutely killed it. And you were one of them, because I think it was, you know, so that's how you got started. But I want to ask you, like, so what happened next? Because once you got into it, you did want to give up at some point, didn't you? Like early on.
Yeah, so we after we did the 1 day event, we signed up for coaching and one of your other events, PWT. And, you know, I look back at it now and go how close-minded I was, and it took a good 6 months at least for me to start shifting what was actually possible. So we had X amount we paid for X amount for coaching and did PWT. And I think we got halfway through sort of my coaching, and then I was just like, no, just, this is a load of rubbish. It's not good for me. I can't, you know, I can't do it. It's not going to happen. Therefore, there's no sort of drive to carry this on. So I think it was 2 weeks before we did PWT that I was about ready to quit. But and Sean will probably tell you, because she was like, well, are you going? And I was, because I'm that stubborn, and I paid for the training. I was like, well, I'm going to go. My expectations is going to be very low. I'm not going to enjoy it. Out of principle, I'm not going to enjoy it. And I'm just going to make sure that I've got my money for it instead of not doing it. And that was, you know, all them years ago, that was my mindset. It's the stubbornness, because I actually paid for it. So I'm going to do it and make sure that I'm not, you know, going to enjoy it just on principle. So, and how wrong I was.
Yeah. the whole thing about Money Monday, the YouTube channel, all the resources we give away for free, the free events, the free training that we do, is to like inspire people to have the hope. And that's exactly what we want to do on this session here, talking about it here, Steve. Yeah, so let's just rewind a little bit where you said, I wanted to give up, it's no good, this doesn't work for me. Were you in like a blame mode? Were you just blaming, you wanted to say it's shit, it don't work, or like what was it?
Ooh,
You just be honest.
I think looking back at it now, well, at the time it was definitely I couldn't understand. I couldn't get to grips about the coaching and the stuff that I was being made to do, and you know,
they made you do it.
No, but the obviously you get set certain actions to follow, which is supposed to help benefit you. You know, the difference from 2.5 years ago to now, if they set me one action or 10 actions, I'll make sure that I do all 10. To whereas, you know, 2.5 years ago, if they set me just one action, and if I didn't like it, I wouldn't say I don't like. I'm not going to do it. I'd just literally go, yeah, okay, and then the following week, oh, have you done it? No, and I think then that, you know, for me, that process was good because I needed to learn the hard way before actually accepting advice from the coaches and stuff like that.
So, you know, like a lot of people, they sometimes get into this blame mode, and, you know, I'm always kind of urging them and inviting them to just stick in there long enough, you know, just trust in the process long enough and still until you can start trusting in yourself. And there's one thing I always say, like when you show up and you follow the process, you utilize the resources, then there's no way that you can fail. Yeah. And some people might be like, oh my goodness, you can't say that. You can't guarantee anything. Listen, if you show up and you take advantage of the resources, there's no way. It's the same as anything, except getting a few shortcuts and getting yourself forward. So like what, so you came to PWT, said you're not going to enjoy it. So then, you know, I know obviously you can't give anything away to do with a program, yeah, or what happens there, but like what happened? Was it all of a sudden you just knew how to find deals? Was it your mindset? Was it your emotion? Like what were the things that kind of contributed to a shift?
I think it was more to do with the emotion, and it actually it brought back to actually why me and Sean were doing it, and that was literally for the girls.
Yeah, to get those 3 buy-to-lets.
Well, buy-to-lets, well, yeah, I think it was like a buy-to-let and 2 HMOs at the time, sort of thing. So we didn't know which strategy to use. We just knew that we were going, we want 3 houses, we'll be happy with that, we can plod on with our life, sort of thing. So so I think, you know, for me, PWT was just basically about actually making me think about my emotion of why I'm doing it, and it changed my mindset of actually, yeah, it's going to be tough, it's going to be hard, but you need to stick in there and just keep doing what needs to be done to then progress.
Yeah, sure. So then what happened after that?
So what happened there? So we signed up for ATM, the Inner Circle, because I believed that it was worth to do the program. And with the sort of mentoring from yourself, Trisha, the coaches that are around us, it's sort of excelled us a lot quicker to where we were. And again, regardless of the first sort of after PWT, there was like another 6-month period where I really needed to not work on the business, not work on property. It was more about working on my mindset, emotion, and actually figuring out exactly what I wanted before knowing what I was going to do. And I've said, you know, I've said to my coach many a times before, I've had to really be broken down to be then built back up to know exactly where I'm going.
Yeah, people find that hard to relate to, right? Because the first thing that people want to go and do is get the technical information, how to do it, how do I do the numbers out, where do I look for deals and all of that, which is actually super important. We did that on a one day. We did that, we do that in every program because we're all about doing the business. Yeah, but like what, let's go to that part, because that's sometimes hard to relate to. I'm like, got to get my mindset straight, got to know what I'm doing, and I feel like sometimes I'm just beating the drum, like, the mindset, technical stuff will come later. But let's give some of the people that they love the technical stuff. So what did you go and do? Let's explain some of the deals, the type of figures that we're looking at. Let's give them that stuff.
Yeah, so our first deal was two HMOs. We managed to buy 2 houses side by side, and we basically turned them into 2 5-beds. I think in total the GDV was 530. I think it was, off the top of my head. Build cost was 82 grand for each house. After that, we took on a commercial building, turned it into 8 apartments, bought it for 392. Spent it, yeah, there you go, or 560. That was the GDV. Thank you. So we then bought a commercial building, B&B, turned it into 8 apartments. Spent 98,000 on it to renovate, and then refinanced that at 7, or refinancing it at 790, and bought for 395.
What a beast! Yeah. And so now, so what type of accommodations is that?
Yeah, so we've changed our route to serviced accommodation. So at this moment in time, we've actually got a number of serviced accommodation buildings going on, starting. We've had planning accepted for like townhouse accommodation in the area as well. So we've actually managed to raise that sort of money for all them projects, which is going to generate a lot of income from serviced accommodation.
Yeah, that is a monster. Yeah. So what are some of I know some of your deals are under like non-disclosure because of the size of them and the technicalities of them. But what are some of the things that you're into now?
So we've just got one site. We were in planning for 14 months, and it's just got approved. So they're the townhouses that we're going for. So that's four of them. So we're looking to start that around mid-April. We've just acquired some land for which planning's been approved now for 8 houses in a gated community. So that is GDV of 5.2 million on that, which is going to take about 2.5 years to build. Build cost for that is about 2.1 plus a bit of contingency in there, and we bought it for 675. So that's one site, and then we've got another site which, again, I can't really say much where it is, what it is, or stuff like that, but that's got the GDV of 10.6 million.
You bunch of beasts. And I'll tell you what, I just put a comment in there for the Real Life Property World 2-day event. It was 1 day when you went, Steve. Now it's 2 days because there's extra deal finding, there's extra strategies, there's extra raising money, there's extra things that people learn. We literally show you exactly how to do it. So you can see that on whatever platform that you're watching this on. I don't know if it's in the comments, but you can reach out to us. But it's at the time of doing this, it's actually on the 12th. Is it on the 12th? Yeah, 12th or 13th, which is next weekend. It's this weekend coming, Monday. So it's this Saturday. This Saturday coming, it's in Manchester. I mean, put in the comments who would be interested in having a blast on that, because I know some people, they come from the community. They come back time and time again, scrub up on the skills and the strategies, but also be around the energy and get the mindset, get the vision straight, get the hope and the power and the love and the support from everyone. So there's that link. You can get registered on that. It's absolutely insane. It's going to be awesome. I love it. It's actually first time in Manchester. It's just that so many people are asking us, will you come to Manchester? I was thinking, yeah, why not? Yeah, let's give it a blast and see what happens. But at the same time, look at this, Steve. Like when people like you and the hundreds of other people that can be inspired to go on and make a difference in this world, yeah, then I feel like I've got to do my part, right? Like the reason why I want to do it is because I feel like helping people is the real reason that any of us here exist, like to pass on information, to pass on knowledge, but like with not just this ain't no lecture style, by the way, guys. This is actually, yeah, let's actually do it. Let's create an environment where you're empowered to go take the action yourself. How important is that, Steve, versus just hearing some information?
Well, for me, it's really important. I learn a lot as much as I can. When I first started out, obviously before the pandemic, I spent a lot of time with quite a few people in the tribe. I went to visit all the sites, learnt off them, learnt off the process to see what needs to be done, because even now I still don't know all the processes in the run up to a project. I've still got a lot of learning to do. There's various bits and pieces that with the developments that we're doing, there's mind-boggling stuff for me that I'm learning about there. So, I just, from that moment, that's the way I have to give back at this moment in time. It is by, I speak to a lot of people in the tribe now that offered, who ask me questions, more than happy to give them my number, and we have a chat and just talk over deals and stuff like that. So for me, that's how I sort of give back to the tribe at this moment in time, is try, because they've given me so much as well.
Yeah, awesome. And it's good to see so many tribe members on here. So thank you, Justin, for your nice comments. Stacey, Sean, John, Charlotte, Richard. Yeah, all you guys on here. So tag some more people. Then comment so we can see that you're on here and what you're talking about. And what we're talking about here is making sense. Yeah, because I also want to know, what questions do you have, or how to get started? Because from when I see people like Sean, Steve, even Justin, Stacey, it all started out with just a question. It all started out with just reaching out and saying, hey, what is it that you guys are doing here? Now, I know the property investment, world has lots of different pieces of information out there. We give away the information for free. In fact, that's our goal, to give away information for free that's better, more informative, gets better results than what other people even charge for. Yeah, if you want to come and you want to be charged, get value for the coaching, and be a part of this team, and be a part of this tribe. In fact, put it in the comments, what is it that you're into right now? Come into a 2-day event this weekend, or like an online mastermind. Because sometimes people want to start with that, but if you really want to do, what would you advise is the best way to kickstart, Steve?
For me personally, it would be go to an event, just because then you can see it for yourself. You can, I'm more comfortable at the event and can ask the questions in a room and sort of see how the training unfolds. For me, if it was an online mastermind, it would take me a while to gear up to go if that was me. But again, I will still do both. Definitely now, I'd still do both.
Yeah, I mean the continuity of having mastermind, come on every single week, everybody in the real life tribe, asking questions, brainstorming, feeding off each other, coming up with new ways, always what's working now, because things are forever changing, right? Especially with prices, build costs, GDVs, how banks are lending money, where to raise money from, which is another subject, by the way. So, because you built such an awesome portfolio, you must have had loads of money stacked away that you started to use, yeah?
No, we started off with zero of our own money.
You're kidding me, man. Now, look what you've done, Steve. All these skeptical people that were watching this, now you've just confirmed them that it's all, it's all, no good. It's not real. So how did you do that then?
Basically, just following the process. We start, just started doing it step by step, little by little, and made sure that we were,
That's some more money that's just gone into your bank account. Is that what that noise was?
Yeah. No, well, to be fair, we did raise some money last week for some other projects, so we're chuffed with that. So yeah, but again, it's all about following the process, and actually, when you start taking it seriously and doing what needs to be done to raise money, and how your goals are sort of created from what you're taught to where you need to go. That journey for me was invaluable to get me over that sort of first year, and then from that point, all of a sudden that sort of positiveness mindset was actually attracting the right people and the relevant people in our lives to then actually raise money, do our projects that we're doing. We've even got, we've still got stuff in planning at the minute from investors.
You really blew it up, man. You started saying attracting the money. Now you really lost them. Yeah, and listen, like, when I first started out, and I was like, guys, this is how you got to do it: positive mindset, focus on the goal, and all the rest of it. And people are like, no, I need to know numbers. I need to know this. I was like, yeah, okay, here's the numbers, but like, you just give people to go out there and do it. It doesn't really happen. The results don't really come through. But when you, like you say, you get your focus happening, yeah, and you get your mindset set straight, then that's what it's all about here. Yeah. And yeah, you're right, Sean. Like the disbelief that is in people, that is what causes a hindrance and a slowing down. Yeah, and by the way, as long as you keep going the next game, in the next step, that fear and that doubt and that worry is always there. I mean, we're looking at opening some hotels. Steve, you've got some big beast projects that we're going to be doing. A couple of lots of 30 apartments. That seems to be a magic number recently. And big estates of houses and new build of houses, but these resorts for the real life health and well-being resorts. I mean, these are big things. These are things that we've never gone into before. Like, I don't have no idea about restaurants. I have no idea about gyms, and no idea about spa. Yeah, no idea about staffing and running any hotel. But I'm up for the challenge because I think it's for a good cause. And these WEC centres, Wellbeing and Education Centres, that's what WEC stands for, Wellbeing and Education Centre for the children. Yeah, to train the children, to educate the children, real education from 4 years old to 12 years old. We will expand that at some point, but that's what we're focusing on at the moment, for them to have financial education. Yeah, and for us to go into that. And I know with the support and the amount of people that want to get involved, that are raising the money, like money is now just being thrown at these deals, right? And this is not like, I didn't believe it. Like my team, they asked me to record some videos today around like money and doing deals with no money. One of the questions that came up is like, well, how do you do it? Like, what happened when you did it yourself? Yeah, I was like, I thought all the people that were going to lend me the money, I thought they would never do it. And but I thought surely one person who I know is going to give me the money, but they never did. And even to this day, zero money has been raised from someone that I knew. Yeah, I mean, I know them now because we're, they've been watching, I've been talking to them, when you build those relationships. But at the same time, it never comes from the sources where I expected. How much money have you raised, and what is your experience when it comes to raising the money?
So we've raised 6.5 million, and we've last week we just raised another 500k from other in private investment. So
is that 7 million?
So that's 7 million now. Then yeah. So in that we've bought projects, we've finished some projects, we're actually starting some projects next month as well. This month, we're in March already. So we're also, like I say, we've for one planning application, it was 14 months. We've just, like I say, this last week we had one more approved, which was 8 houses. We're still in planning and going to planning for other sites from that money that's been raised. So the big development that we're looking to do, the hoops that we've had to jump so far, and how we're pushing through the money that we've spent on that already, we still don't think the planning will be approved this time. You know, we're hoping that it'll be approved this time next year, so we can get started the middle of next year for projects.
Yeah, and you started with 2 HMOs.
Yeah, 2 5-bed HMOs.
Even before that, you started with a goal of 1 in 3 buy-to-lets.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your advice to people that might be saying, yeah, I mean, because some people are like multi-millions, this is not for me. How can I do that? Big developments, I don't have any idea. Yeah. I mean, I've already admitted I don't have any idea. So what about you? You got any idea what you're doing?
Not particularly. I think my background helps, and it helps me, sort of makes things a little bit smoother. I've got people around me that are knowledgeable in that area, so like the hotels, for instance. Just with the circles that I've been in, you know, I've managed to get a very good friend now that's in the hotel business, and he takes me. You know, I go out, see him. You've met him as well. You know, he's a very humble guy and loves that. And you know, from that, the people around you, I use their knowledge to help me to progress on what needs to happen.
And this is like, I think this might bring the change of thinking. You know, Grant Cardone always says his biggest regret, his only regret, in fact, he said, is he didn't think big enough. And I remember him saying that at the early doors when I came across him in 2016. And I started to want to think big. And I actually was just talking, I was doing a video for our recruitment. We're recruiting, by the way. By the way, if you are an awesome person, yeah, and you want to come and work within this brand, yeah, you think you're in marketing, or you're in sales, or I'm looking for a hunter salesperson to find out what people need and help them get it. Yeah, because there's so many people that require help, and so many people we're going to speak to find out what they want to you know, get them moving in life so they can have a positive impact. If you know anyone, or that's you, get in touch with us, send me a message directly, because we want to do that. I was just doing a video, and it actually made me realize that I want to create no limits for myself and everybody around. Like there isn't any limits. Yeah. So when we've got this environment, and I want to be, and like you say, we're getting around people where their goals are like, yeah, my target is to do 100 million in revenue. Yeah. Yeah, but so that now this, I'm like, wow, you know, like some people think I'm crazy. Some people think I lost my mind. We're going to open 13 hotels in 10 different countries in the next 5 years. You know, we're going to get 1 open this year. I'm like, wow, like how is this even happening? We're in March already, and only we're at this like the very beginning stages, and it looks like a very lengthy process. And to actually renovate these things and get them to the stage, like I don't know how long it's going to take. I'm just still got it in my mind. Yeah, this year, let's get it open. Memberships this year. Come on, like let's have the tribe meetup. Let's make it happen. Let's get the kids in there. Let's get the WEC Center open and start giving back. But then when we get around people who are having goals like this, and this is what the tribe is all about, you keep getting bigger think. Yeah, thinking bigger all the time. There's a book, The Magic of Thinking Big. I mean, just read that. That's an eye-opener. There's another book, Asking It Is Given. It's all about, you know, like asking it and saying you want it. So there's so many people that say, I want to invest in property. I'll send you a message, Mark, you know, when that time comes. Like, what do you mean when that time comes? You know, like, Steve, with where you're forward now, so like a year ago, you were into your property development. Would you rather be there, or would you rather be here where you are now?
I'd rather be here where I am now, because the people that we've met and the stuff that I'm now doing, it's made me go, I'm still thinking too small.
But is more going wrong now or previously?
Oh, more's going wrong now for definite.
But you still choose to be here. So let me ask you a question. You procrastinated for a year before you actually even got started or even showed up to an event. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if you could have your time again, what would you do?
Join real life from day one.
Why?
As soon as I know about it, because well, it's changed me as a person. I think hopefully for the better. It's made me think more positive. Have a better mindset, a different way of thinking for all that. And not only that, I'm doing stuff that excites me. I'm not doing a 9 to 5 job where I'm like going to work and I'm there because I feel like I have to be there. I'm doing what I'm doing because I love it. I love the challenges that come up. Probably not every day, but I love the challenges that come up.
Not every day you love it, or not everyday challenges?
Not every day I love it, but I still sort of try and plug on and do the best I can do, not just for me, but for Sean and for other people as well.
Yeah, and for everybody. Yeah, and that's what this is about. Listen, how many times we have to speak to people, say, "Hey, listen, it's going to go wrong. It's not how, it's not when, if it goes wrong, it's when, and it's not that it goes wrong. It's how you deal with it." And I'm seeing a lot more people now who've been to the programs, are part of the community, who have the frameworks and have now the kind of like experiences that we create. Like, we create the environment for people to have these experiences that can now fall back on. So when weird stuff starts to happen, like what's weird now is like your glasses have got like the reflection of the screen and you look like some kind of alien has possessed you. Yeah, when weird stuff like that happens, that you still make moves, you still know what to do. Guys, put it in the comments. What's the weirdest challenges you've had, or what's the weirdest thing that your mind says to you about, I can't do this, shouldn't go to bigger projects, shouldn't pull the trigger, I need to wait for my previous project to be done before I move forward, I don't have enough money, I'm going to wait for my refinance money, I'm not going to go. Like, what is it that's going on in your head? Please put it in the chat right now. And by the way, with this many people watching it, what I want you to do is I want you to share this on your timeline. Let me know in the comments when you've done it. I want to give you free stuff. I want to give away free things. Yeah, so you need to share it. Let me know you've shared it, and then tag at least 10 people in here. Yeah, and then we can by the end of this program here, oh yeah, we've got a few minutes left. At the end of this program, we're going to be giving that out. So go ahead and do that, but also ask any questions. We could do some quick fire questions if you've got any questions. But I've got a question, Steve. Like, what is the sexiest strategy to be doing right now?
Developments.
And what type? When you say developments, I mean that's so vast. Like,
new builds for me.
Why new builds?
Because the same amount of work and the process is exactly the same if you was to do a HMO, a flip, commercial to resi. It's the same process. There's just a few things that you need more to do.
Yeah, and what are those things that people need to be aware of if they're going to do a normal buy? Because some people, they buy off plan. Some people, they do it the way we're doing, where we use other people's money and look to increase the value to pull money out or get a return on the money. Like, what's the key?
Yeah, so it's more the searches, I think, for me. So the soil sample, drainage, used the ones that we got approved we had to do a gas line. Now gas has sort of been abolished for little guys like me. So we how we're putting in the 3-phase electrics into the site, how we the highways, waste management, fire risk assessment for fire trucks, ambulance, police, trees, bats, insects, agricultural land. We've even got to do an archaeological dig on one of our sites to see, because it's an area that apparently is high in Roman battles, apparently. So we've got to do an archaeological, got to do like a 6-week period of archaeological dig
up some shields.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking forward to digging up some stuff when we start. Yeah, because with the hotel, obviously you want to dig down and put all the spar and stuff and create caves underground. How cool is that going to be? By the way, just put it in the comments. Who would like to come to the opening ceremony of the first health and wellness center? Yeah, just let me know. I'll start making a list now, just so you can get on the list. Well, John from number 1 is on the list anyway. Yeah, we met John, was a local, telling us how awesome one of the potential places that we're looking into. Zima, you're number 2 on the list. John from number 1 is number 1, and Zima is number 2 on the list. Let's start putting that invite out there. Yeah, it's going to be a special time. I tell you, these next few years, the next 3 years, mark this right now in your calendar. The next 3 years are going to be astronomical. So either you're going to be a spectator on the sidelines, just watching this whirlwind happen, and crazy thing after crazy thing in the media will just keep showing up, or you're going to get on the pitch as a player and you're going to make a difference in your community and your family. You know, because once people start taking control of their finances, their mindset, and think for themselves, things change fast in a big way. Who agrees with that? Put it in the comments if you agree with that. What do you think, Steve?
For me, yeah, everything changes. It changes really quick. Something can happen in an instant that you have to alter and change, you know, to make things work. So yeah, completely agree with you.
Yeah, insane stuff. So like, guys, we've got to start taking a handle on this, getting a handle on this. You people in the real life tribe, like, let's get people helped. Let's help these guys. Let's, you know, put yourself out there so people like Steve, who were skeptical before, can stalk you and see your success, see that it's real. Real life is real people. It's by the people and it's for the people. That's what this is all about. So look, this is insane. My team is going to, you know, blow my head off. Yeah. Where else is this thing here? Yeah, this mastermind thing here. Yeah, look, even this mastermind, you know, people can start, you know, registering for this open mastermind once a month. We're going to open the doors. We're going to open the doors to the real life community. But Steve, would you wait until the next mastermind, or would you get yourself to this next event? Which one?
I'll definitely get myself to the event.
Yeah, but what if it's too far?
Again, I suppose that's down to your mindset. Is it, you know, why are you procrastinating to stop yourself from learning?
What if you got kids though?
Well, you can find a babysitter or bring them like I've done before.
Yeah, okay. And but what if, you know, yeah, it's 2 days, so you have to stay over?
Then surely that's treat it as a bit of a weekend away in Manchester.
Yeah, in fact, I think, isn't there a game? Isn't actually, there's a game. I know there's a game, because when we were booking hotel rooms, that like we had to book it up because they said there's an event on. Yeah, so I can't remember. I think it's a City game. Not that anyone who watches them anyway. You know, yeah. Okay. So anyway, let's wrap this baby up, because we got the real life mastermind, the closed private mastermind for all you beasts that are going to bring your amazingness to the table. Look, if you need anything, you got any questions, just reach out. Don't be shy. Just ask the question. I'll point you in the right direction. You know, come to the event. Come and hang out with us. I'm looking forward to finding some deals in Manchester. We used to ask the people, where is it you want us to find a deal? And sometimes we'd be in the Midlands, they ask us London. Sometimes we'd be in London, they ask us, you know, up in Doncaster or some crazy like that. You know what? We were in Birmingham last time. We found some deals in Birmingham. I'm going to find some deals in Manchester. Yeah, let's find some big beast stuff going on in Manchester. So anyway, Steve, thank you for coming on. Absolutely great to see you on here, guys. You can catch out more info. You can catch out more info that me and Steve did a property podcast. There's about 3 of them actually. One is like what's happening in 2022. Another one is you know, there's a 17-year price rise continuing in property prices, and there was something else as well. I don't remember what it was, but it was awesome. Yeah. So Steve, just before you go here, there is one question, yeah, that I need to ask. Yeah, yes. But before that, yeah, what we need to do is we need to go back and have a look, and we're going to pick a winner. So the winner will be contacted because I don't have the information in front of me right now. So we're going to go and see who qualified, and then we will pick a name out of the hat for those people that shared this post on their timeline and tagged at least 10 people. Yeah. Now, Steve, we must never, ever, ever, ever forget that people are going to do the right thing for the right reason. Now, why is that?
Because that's the only way to discover your true potential.
Yes, there we go. You heard it here from Steve Morley, or as he likes to be called, Stephen Morley.
No.
Yeah. So, great job. Keep doing what you're doing, people. Thank you for watching. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel. We've got some awesome videos coming out. It's going to blow your mind and melt your face. So until then, do the right